Okay, this problem right here, I didn't count it against you if you got it wrong because it is so difficult. But if you did get it correct, it tended to bump people up one number. So if they got a 5, it turned them into a 6. If they had a 7, it gave them an 8. And not many people got it correct, but maybe I'll put it on the retest. And if you can kind of memorize how to do this, then you've automatically already improved your score by 1, which is good. So only using a compass and a straight edge, you need to make an isosceles trapezoid. They look like this, where the lines provided are the 2 base lengths. So this needs to be this side, and this needs to be the other, or vice versa. And it's isosceles, so the 2 sides have to also be the same length. So this is challenging. So what I like to do when I'm doing this one is, so I don't have to redraw this line, I'm going to make this the bottom, and then I'm going to draw my isosceles trapezoid up, up, up like that. And then this is going to be right in the middle and exactly that length. It's hard to do, but we can do it. Okay, so first step doing this is, as most of these problems are, is making a perpendicular bisector of the big line. Okay, there we go. Okay, there is our perpendicular bisector, and I need to set this right in the middle. Okay. Whew. So, where to go from here? This, in the trapezoid, this has to be parallel to this. So I'm going to draw a line right through here, kind of like I did with the square earlier in the test. I'm going to make a big old line, and then I'm going to cut it down to that size. So how do I make sure that it's parallel up there? Well, just like I did with the square earlier in the test. That's not the point I need, actually. I am going to go this distance up this line. So set your compass to this distance. And then do one of those. So since this is the center of the circle, that's a radius, and that's a radius. So those two must be equal distances. Now if I find the point out here correctly, and I run a line through here, it has to be parallel to the bottom. So in order to do that, I have to do just what I did with the last square and calculate this mystery point. So in order to do that, I need to measure this distance, then I need to do a circle around this, and a circle around this, and wherever it crosses is this mystery point out here. So I'm going to go like that, and all I need is that little part, because all that matters is just that part that crosses. So this intersection out here is going to be exactly parallel to this line. If I were to make a square, I'm not, because I'm making an isosceles trapezoid, but I now know that this, and your compass marks show me, because of this business in here, that this line is exactly parallel to that line. Now, the fun part. Now you just have to make this big pencil mark this distance. So I'm going to take my compass and make a perpendicular bisector for the short base of it. Like that, and like this. Okay, now in order to set this on top of here, I go through and I measure the radius, so this little half distance, right there, and I'm going to set it on here and make a circle, if I can. I don't really like this compass, but it's the only one that's left. Around here, around there, and around like that. So this shows me that this has to be the same distance as that, and this line shows me that it's parallel. So these must be the side lengths, and since it is centered on the perpendicular bisector, this has to equal this, and I'm done. Okay, cool problem. Last one, and then we're done. Okay, name 3 properties of the diagonals of a rhombus. You should construct a rhombus to help yourself if necessary. So you don't need to draw it with a compass, but you just give yourself an idea what it is. And now what we're talking about are these 2 lines. Okay, most of us knew that these with a rhombus are 4 right angles. So they or I would say the diagonals are perpendicular. If you said that they were a perpendicular bisector, that does not make sense, because a perpendicular bisector does 2 things. It cuts something in half and makes a 90. That's not what's going on here. Okay, they make 90-degree angles. They're perpendicular. Okay, they're also lines of reflection. We could fold that over to there and that over to there. And we also learned that they bisect each other, which means that is equal to that, and that's equal to that. They bisect each other. Okay, if you not just wrote everything down, but if you understood everything that I said right there, there's no reason why you're not going to get a 7 or even an 8 on a retest. And you're also going to be really far ahead and doing a good job on Module 8. Thank you for listening, and make sure you go back and do those other constructions and hand this in as an assignment, please. Thank you.